Hey, this is Elgin Cook. I'm in Wyoming and I want to test DJI's claim that a Mavic Air 2 can fly 6.2 miles. So my goal is to actually fly at 6.1 miles and land it remotely. Here's the DJI Mavic Air 2, and hopefully I don't lose it today. I pick it up in 6.1 miles after a remote landing. My goal is to fly in this direction out towards that mountain. That's called Tapman, and about halfway to that mountain is 6 miles. There's a river, the Grable River, we'll be crossing, and hopefully landing at my brother's house. He's not there, but so it makes a great place for a landing site. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully I do not lose my drone.
The low point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
This is just to show you the view of where I'm actually taking off from, and here in a minute I'll turn it around and actually point it to that mountain. Trying to straighten her out a little bit. I'm going to stop here and actually turn it around now. Whoop, too much. And that's my path. Here we go. Going across some badlands here. I'm actually taking off from a place called Table near Burlington, Wyoming. And I think I have my path right. I used my binoculars to find my brother's house. So my path, I think, is pretty accurate. So I'm hoping so. I'm going to go ahead and drop her down. I do know that I'm much higher than I need to be, because his place is actually about 300 feet below where I'm at. So at this point I think I'll keep it about right there. I just had a rainstorm pass through here. I had to wait it out for about a half an hour. I'm hoping that I don't get caught in another one. I do see one in the distance off to the west. This warning zone that you see on the screen about the airport in the vicinity, I'm not even sure why it's there. Some farmer had an airport here 20 years ago, and it really was just a grass strip and a hayfield. But it's marked, and so there was a warning, but I have no question we're not in anybody's way with that. Cruising along at 26 miles an hour. We're not yet quite 1 mile out. We're working on it. Still have good signal, 87% battery. I have a little bit of a tailwind. I'm not great at talking through video, but I thought I should document this to let everybody see that some people are trying to do this, and if I'm successful, I'll document it to see that it can be done. I've never flown this at 6 miles before. I think the most I've ever had it was 3.5 miles away.
Landing.
But DJI says you can do it, so we're going to try it. Alright, so I'm a mile and a third maybe out. Starting to hit a little bit more farmland. These crops over here really do not look that great. But we should pass a few nicer fields here. And a nice river called the Grable River. We're working at about 8,400 feet out right now. And I do have a fairly decent tailwind, but the speed is remaining fairly consistent, just over 26 miles an hour. By the way, if I cannot make this and land it there where I'm hoping to, I have a couple of alternative landing sites picked out off to the west. But I'm hoping I can set it down somewhere near my brother's house at 6 miles out. %, battery. We're at 10,000 feet out, going well. Everything seems to be going well. I put it in normal mode because I really haven't even tested to see if I get better battery life with normal mode or sport mode. I don't know. Just past county lane there. So I guess if I had to set it down in a field here, I'd make sure it's by a county road. I'm very curious to see how close I am on my line. I think when I get over there, I'll probably have to adjust a little bit. So we've been out almost 6 minutes. There's somebody's cows in the foreground there, and a barley field. I think I'll go ahead and drop down a little bit more. That should be good there. I'm almost 200 feet below where I'm standing. And my gut feeling is I'm going to be off a little to the left, so I'm going to adjust that just a little. Still cruising along pretty good. Don't seem to have too many hiccups yet. I saw my signal flash orange a little, and I'm not sure why. If I have to raise up, I will. Maybe I will raise up a little, because my signal bar is flashing orange and white, going down to 2 bars and 3 bars there. We're getting close to 3 miles out, and I had a little bit of signal issues, but now it looks like I'm holding fairly good at, well, maybe I spoke too soon. I'm back to 3 bars. I'll go ahead and lift her back up, but you know, I have direct line of sight, so I'm not sure what that's all about. And I am clear out here in the country. There should not be any real interference at all. Now there's the highway. It's connecting Basin and Meeteetse, Wyoming. Low battery. I know that's not true. It says 70%. I've had that before. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I need a battery firmware update or something. All right, we're closing in on 3 miles. I don't have the exact...
Battery level is low. The aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds.
Okay, so I just canceled that. I'm committed now. But I think we're gonna, as long as I have signal, I'm good. That's my biggest issue right now is, do I have the signal to do this? Working on 20,000 feet out. So everything seems to be going fairly well. My signal's back down to the 3 bars, which as long as that holds, I'm good. It's been about a 9-minute flight so far. We're getting out of the farmland, and the trees up there in the distant below that Tapman Mountain is actually the Grable River. And when we cross that Grable River, we're really close. I'm going to adjust my heading just a tad. I'm hoping that I'm right, because there's no way I can see my brother's house on this little iPhone screen. I just picked a spot on that mountain in the background, and I'm kind of just aiming for that. I did scope it out with binoculars before, and I hope I'm close. So we're at 24,000 feet. We're working on it, and I think I need, for 6 miles, I think I need like 32,000 feet or something like that. Weak signal, adjust. I'm trying to make sure I'm pointed right at it, directly. Bunch of Russian olives. Some people hate those trees and some people love them. They are pretty, but they have a lot of thorns. Oh, I went back up to 4 bars on my signal, right back down to 3 now. But I'm optimistic, other than I'm not seeing, I may not be far enough to make sure I'm seeing my brother's house. I'm thinking it may be a little more this way. This DJI Fly app, to my knowledge, you can't put a waypoint. I think weak signal, trying to make sure I'm pointed at it exactly. Now we're getting up to the river here. Oh, there's some cows down there on the river bottom. I think that might be his house in the center, but this screen is so small I can't tell for sure. If it's the wrong house, I'll have to wander around out there 6 miles out. I'm at 54% on the battery, so I should have plenty to come back to a landing zone somewhere. Even if I took it out to a field and landed it here, or even in this patch right down below me, I know how to get there. But I think I got off course a little. Got the weak signal thing again. Oh yeah, there's his house right there, I think. Heading right for it. Don't see any rainstorms that are going to catch me, because for me it's going to be about a 20-minute drive just to go over there. I can fly this thing faster than I can drive there. So I have to get there before any rain comes. But everything seems to be going well right now. Other than I don't have enough battery to get all the way back. I know that because I have a downwind. Coming back, I'd be facing about a 8-mile-an-hour headwind. I'm going to go ahead and lower it down. Well, I don't think I will lower it right now. I want to get right over the landing zone. Yeah, that's the right place. It's hard to see on this small screen. So we're working on 6 miles right now. And I think what I want to do, we're here. I just got to find a good spot to land this. I think I should have had this picked out beforehand. I don't think anybody's ever going to drive up there. Right now I'm getting a signal saying I don't have a card in there, but I do. I don't know what that's all about. I think I'm going to have line of sight right here, and I don't think anybody's going to drive over there. Because I'm not going to get there for quite a while. Let me come back a ways. Okay, I think that should do it. I'm going to land it right there.
Landing.
Alright, we did it at 3,200, or I'm sorry, 32,164 feet. Awesome. Now I just got to get back and go find it. So I'll say goodbye for now. All right, down off the point now. Just driving a little 2-track out here in the middle of nowhere. It's gonna take me a bit just to get to a main road, but I have time to reflect a little bit now. As long as everything's all right at the other end, man, it just seemed a little too easy. I really didn't have any problems with that thing going 6 miles and landing. I'm a little shocked, if you want to be honest, and I'm very happy about it. Sorry about the rough road, but that's the way it is out here to get to this point. I'm holding this with my hand, just trying to stabilize it just a little. All right, I'll talk to you later when I get closer to where the drone's at. All right, we're back. Driving down the lane to my brother's house. There's his house there. And with any luck, that drone will still be sitting there. I hope it didn't say, okay, I gotta come back home or anything like that. I did disconnect. I shut off my controller. I really am not overly familiar with all this stuff, how all of it works, but hopefully it's still there. Coming up there, I landed it just on the right-hand side of this shop. I'll stop here. And hopefully we see a drone right around the corner here. Yep, there it is. See a little light flashing. It's probably still recording, who knows. Of course, I did have that error that said no card. I don't know what that's all about. So, if we look over there, it's really just barely above the tree line. You can see that hill over there. That's where I was when we took off. It's on top of that, probably about at the end of my finger. And as far as a target, what I was using for my line is basically just the end of this flat area right over there. And it got me close. It wasn't bad. So I hope you enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty fun, actually. Now we know that a DJI Mavic Air 2 actually can land, or not only can it fly 6 miles, but it can land 6 miles remotely, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, have a great day.